So Nick has just suggested that that I ask everybody to pause the video, which I hope you're enjoying, and we can do a few minutes of Q&A here before everybody goes to the Nick's UMake session. Thank you very much, Gary. Yeah, so if anybody wants to say anything, we've got a few minutes here before the next session starts, and the link is up for the video. It's now on my YouTube collection. It's in tug.com/v, so you can find it. So there are a few people asking if using bags works for different types of line, and I use the bag method for everything from the world's largest kite, where the bag isn't a bag, it's a crate moved around the beach by a forklift, and I use it for the small things. I use it for power cables. I use the bag technique or leave it in a heap on the floor technique for absolutely everything, because the theory works, right? All it does is create a mat on top, and that's all you need.
But Andrew, you never mentioned about tying off the end. Because if you don't tie off the end.
Okay, so when I'm packing away other people's kites and I want to be seen to be doing the right thing and being neat and tidy, I'll either take the end and pull it out of the bag and close it on the zip, or if there's a tie-off point inside the bag, I'll do that. But the reality is, when I'm doing it myself, I just take the end of the bridle and put it in somewhere. Or if you open up a bag, you can put your hand in blindfold and pull out the end because it's on top.
Yes, but after it's possibly been through baggage control and all of that sort of thing, it could insinuate itself somewhere where it shouldn't.
That's a possibility. So if you want to be neat and tidy, either take it outside or tie it off on something, or do something like that to give you that comforting feeling that you know where it's going to be. But I'm so lazy and have so much confidence in this doing the right thing that I seldom bother.
And Andrew, some of my St. Catherine's wheels or other big sky decorations might have 20 or 25 separate bridle lines.
Yes.
Get all in a bollocks when sometimes when I pack them away. Do you wind them, or do you use do you have a card? I've seen people use cards.
No, I just stuff it in a bag. I absolutely just stuff it in a bag. A couple of decades ago, I used to make the Chevron, which had around, it was just short of 100 very lightweight Spectra bridles on a parakeet, because it had 2 cross bridles in this thing. It was amazing. And again, same thing, stuff it in a bag. And people get scared of untangling things. Right? A pattern I've noticed is that the people who like to cross bridle the bridles, something that goes with that is a fear of untangling stuff. It's quite often the people that do the chain stitching, that undo the chain stitching and don't check to see that the bridle is properly untangled.
Yeah.
And over a period of time, particularly at the bottom of it, you'll find a large number of tangles which are built into this bridle that have been there for a year, right? And they don't bother fixing. Whereas whenever I get something out the bag, I pull it out the bag and I have a look at it. And if it's tangled, I fix it. And it only takes a moment. And you can look at any of the kites in my bag and pull it out, and it's ready to fly, and it's neat and tidy and sorted. And if there is a line or two that has managed to go through, I'll fix that before flying it. If you fly pilots, the tuning on a pilot is so delicate and so precise that it only needs one line to be over and the thing doesn't fly straight. Right? You really need to pull it out of the bag and check that it's right. Sorry, I went off on that. No. Craig Rogerson, untangling is zen. Yes, I guess I learned about untangling when I was doing the paracite stuff, and on a cross bridle, it's like the bridle of normal kite where everything comes together, but it comes together in two separate places, and you get those mixed up with each other, and it can take a little bit of time and effort to untangle. But yeah, the technique is simple. You just look at it and do whatever appears, whatever looks like it might help is the right thing to do. So I've taken cross bridle parakites, dumped them in the sea, have them roll around in the surf, and then take it out. You just sit down and work on it, and it all comes out. So everything I fly is always perfectly untangled. It's part of getting it out the bag.
What is your experience with using bags for a much lighter line? It's pretty obvious for heavy kind of line, but
my personal experience is minimal. The lightest line that I have that I use is about 1.2 millimeter spectra. But the principle works, but yeah, that's what we use. But personally, I don't use stuff that light very, very often.
I have to say, Andrew, that my experience with using bags is great for the heavier lines. But for lighter lines, sometimes loops pass through one another, or you get these little tangles. And so for really light stuff, for small single line kites, I haven't had that good luck with bags, although for heavy stuff, obviously, it's such an easy way to go.
Yeah.
For very
a question there from Prairie Girl. You're muted. I can't hear you. You're muted.
There we go. Can you hear me now?
There we go. I can hear you now.
Okay. So, hey, it's actually Rena Rusted out here in North Dakota with Prairie Wind Kite Company. I've got a couple of questions on the size of the line. Out here in the sticks of North Dakota, we go by poundage. So I'm thinking when we're talking about the heavier line, we're thinking like 500 pound and above for the bags, and probably anything under that for just a winder of some type.
Yes, I gauge my line by its diameter in millimeters, so I'm in a different world. But I use bags for everything.
Okay, and then my other question.
The winders and stuff that I used in the video, I bought in order to be able to do this video and to show and to talk about it. I just don't have that stuff.
I put 300 pound and above in. It depends on what I'm using. Spectra 300 pound is rather thin, but especially for Dacron lines, 300 pounds and above I can put in a bag. Anything smaller than that, I just put it on a winder.
Yeah.
Okay, and then my other question, Andrew, was, do you happen to have a pattern for the bags?
No, I do have a stock of the bags.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to show you one where I don't have the thingy running. it's quite interesting to use this in the with the green screen. It keeps on sort of disappearing.
It totally disappears. Yeah.
So if you, in fact, this has got one in it. When we sell line to people, you pay for the line, and we stick it in a pretty bag, regardless of what it is, because they're cheap and cheerful and have our branding on. So no pattern for that. If you're new to kite making, bags is the easy place to start. Like it's just a rectangle and a drawstring on it, and the pattern is more based on how the bag is going to fit in the fabric that you've got, and how you're going to make efficient use of that than anything particularly about the size and shape. It is nice to have a bag that's big enough so you have room to move your arm on the inside of it and pull the line into it. One of the things that I didn't say was I ran out of nerve when I was doing it. When you're stuffing the bag, if it doesn't look like you're masturbating, you're not doing it right.
You must have some large bags.
Yeah, we do actually.
If you will, I make these bags that have round bottoms, so that when I stuff line into them, they're laying flat on the bottom. I even have a little tutorial about how to make them, and if you want, I can put it on Fortuna Found. I can. Great
idea. Yeah.
If you want a round bag with a flat bottom, I make those, and I'll put the pattern on Fortuna Found. Not away from Andrew's bag.
And someone just put up a plan here in the chat. Okay, is there anything else that I missed? Okay, I think the next session has already started, so I'll probably see people over there. Thank you very much for your help and encouragement, and I hope you enjoyed it.
Thanks, Andrew. Great job.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, nicely done, Andrew. Well done.
Thank you, sir.
Well done, Andrew. Good job.
All right, mate. Take care.
Cheers, buddy.
Thank you, Andrew. Have a good day.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Is that David Wason and Sam?
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for all the whales.
Glad they all got out eventually. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to try and sew a bag before I sew my 2 whales then. Okay.
Absolutely.
Bags are easy.
Absolutely.
Bye.
Yes, bye.
Hey, Andrew. Now, if Dave here, mate. Yeah, it's only what 3:32 a.m. so I'm pretty sleep deprived. Yeah, keeping your lines from tangling in the bags, not a problem, but trying to keep them from getting untangled on the field with other kites is another.
I'm missing that social aspect of kite flying these days. I really quite like to tangle lines with somebody else again. It's been a while.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for your tips. They're really good.
Cheers, mate. Thanks. Bye.
Cheers. Bye.